The first chapter is called set notation. You are familiar with this topic already because you have done it in grade 7, right? So in grade 7, you have learned about different types of sets, how to write down a set, different notations, and then you have learned about different formations through Venn diagrams. Like the two sets are disjoint sets, are they overlapping sets, or are they subsets of each other? So in this grade 8, we are having basically 3 learning objectives, and this is the first one. The first learning objective is identify and differentiate between subset and superset, proper subset and improper subset. So we have learned about it already. Can any one of you tell me what is a subset and a superset? You can give me any example to, explain this concept. Anyone? Ji bete Tawassal, do you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Ji bete. What is a subset and what is a set? A superset.
Superset is which is written above 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a superset. 2 and 3 is subset.
All right, very good. So for example, like Tawassal is saying, there are two sets, one with the name. Let's say if set A is, let's say if set A is, as Tawassal is saying, 1, 2, 3, 4. And set B is, let's say, having two elements, let's say 2, 3. So then in this example, set B is subset of A. So we will write down like this: B is subset of A. Or we can say A is superset of B, right? This is how we write. Sometimes you will see a line below it. That's fine. That is okay. It's also the same symbol. Some books are using a line between this symbol. So that's also fine. Okay. So how to read this? This is B is subset of A, or A is superset of B. So why it is like this? Because all the elements of set B are present in set A. So that's why it is a subset formation. So if we draw it in a Venn diagram, so if this is A and this is B, so that 2 and 3 will come here in set B, and 1 and 4 will be written here. So because B is inside set A, B is a smaller set, so that's why B is called subset of A, right? So now today we need to start with the same question. We need to write down all the subsets of the following sets. So before we start writing, you need to remember that if there is any set having any number of elements, so the maximum subsets a set can have. So we can find out using formula. So how to find out maximum subsets of any set, the formula is 2 raised to power n, where n is the number of elements in that set, right? So what is this formula 2 raised to power n? This is the formula to calculate the maximum number of possible subsets of any set. For example, in this case, there is only one element in this set. So the number of subsets, maximum total subsets, would be equal to 2 raised to power 1, because there is only one element. So 2 raised to power 1, we know indices. So 2 raised to power 1 is 2 actually. So there are two subsets of this first part. And what are those two subsets? So you need to remember that just like how we write down the factors of number. So when we write down the factor of a number, isko usse link kare. So how do we write down the factors? If I say write down the factors of 24. So how you will write down factors of 24? What will be the first factor? Can anyone tell me? If we are writing factors of 24, what is the first factor?
1 and
What first
24.
factor? 1 and 24 itself. And then we will find out the rest. So this is the same in the sets. The smallest subset is null set. Here it is 1, but in set it is null set or empty set. So you need to remember empty set is a subset of all the sets, right? And the biggest subset is the set itself, right? So the smallest subset is empty set and the biggest subset is set itself. So there are only two subsets of this set. One is definitely empty set. You can write down like this also, because we know this is also a notation of null set or empty set. And the second subset is 8 itself, right? So this set, the first set, it contains only two subsets, an empty set and 8 itself, right? So you need to remember, just like prime numbers are having two factors, similarly a singleton set क्या होता है? A set which is having only one element. So a singleton set is also having only two subsets, empty set and the set itself, right? So now moving on to part B. Part B is having two elements. So first of all, we will calculate what are the total number of subsets. So total subsets, we will use this formula, 2 square. 2 square because n is 2 this time. So what is 2 square? We know indices now. We know what is the answer of this. What is 2 square?
4.
4. So there are 4 subsets possible for this if the set is having 2 elements. So there are 4 possible subsets. So what would be the first subset?
P.
Null set.
Null set, empty set, right? Either put this symbol or you can use like this. So you need to write down empty, just when we write down factors and we write down 1 as a factor, 1 is the first factor of every number. So similarly, a null set or an empty set is the first subset of all the subsets, all the sets, right? So now we will write down, as Hashim was saying, P, then
Then
we will
Q.
write Q, and then the set itself, right? So if there are two elements in a set, so total number of subsets are 4, and always it will always be like this, definitely. जी बेटे तवस्सुल. Or जी Hashim, you want to say something बेटे?
How can you present the null set in a Venn diagram?
So null set is just a concept. It's a concept that it's an empty set. There is no value inside. Right? It's just a concept. We cannot write it or we cannot show it, but it is always considered in sets. Okay? Like that's why I'm linking this with the example of factors. Just if one is a factor and one is the smallest factor, and it is a factor of every number. So similarly, null set is the smallest unit in sets, and that is a subset of any set. Okay? So total subsets in the third part, there are 3 elements. So the total subsets will be 2 cube. So now what is 2
8.
cube? 8. So there are total 8 subsets for if there are 3 number of elements in the set. So what would be the first subset?
Null set.
Null set, right? An empty set. And then what will come?
1.
1.
1. So first of all, write down all the singleton possible sets. So 1,
5,
then 3.
3, 5.
So now what? Because we need to write down total
1
8
3.
sets and we are done. So now we will make the combinations of two numbers. So 1, 3.
1 1 3. 1 5
1,
and
3,
3
3,
5.
1, 5.
1, 5, and
And 3 5.
5. Very good. So now we cannot make any more pairs because हम 5
1
3 नहीं लिख सकते. Sets में order does not matter. So even if you are writing 3 5 or 5 3, that is the same set, right? ये आपको definition में मैंने बताया था, order does not matter, and we cannot repeat the number also. So we are done with the combinations of two numbers. So now the last would be set itself, 1 3 and 5. So now if we quickly discuss, out of these 8 subsets, how many sets are proper subsets and how many are improper?
What are those?
Sorry?
Can you please explain improper and proper sets? I was not in the.
Proper subset is when a subset is smaller than the original set, right? So improper subset is when a subset is equal to the set. So that is still called a subset, but because it is not making a sense, so that's why we call it improper. So out of these 8 subsets, this is basically your improper subset. And the rest of the 7 are called proper subset.
Proper.
That's right. So rest are all proper subsets because they are smaller sets. They make sense. But the one equal to, this is still a subset, but this is same as the set itself. So this is basically violating the concept of subset. No, actually, this subset is now having all the properties of the set. So this is called improper subset. So I have linked this concept with fractions. So you know that proper fraction is when the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Like for example, 3 by 5. So this is a proper fraction, like 3 parts out of 5 parts. But if we write 5 by 5, so you know this is not a fraction actually. अगर आप गौर करें तो this is now a whole. So this is called improper. Same is the case here. Proper subsets are those subsets when the subset is when the elements of that smaller set or the subset are less than the superset. But when as soon as it becomes equal to the set, equal to the superset, we call it improper subset, right? All right. What about the last part? Last part is an empty set. So how many possible subsets? What are the possible subsets of this set? What is n here? What is n in this set D?
0.
0. There is no element. So n is 0. So 2 raised to power 0. Now the indices come. What is 2 raised to power 0?
0. 1.
No.
1.
1. It is 0 power law.
Number
2 raised to power 0 is 1. So
1.
there is one subset. And what is your idea? What will be that one subset?
Null set.
Null set itself. So empty set itself or the null set itself is a subset of an empty set. Okay? So we have learned in this question, we have learned about null set. Then we have learned about a set with one, like singleton set. Then the set with 2 elements and the set with 3 elements, right? So now comes the fill in the blanks. So we need to fill this blank with 2 symbols, subset or not a subset, right? We will use these 2 symbols, subset or not a subset, and with reasons. So answer me one by one. What do you think about A part? 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5. Is it subset or not a subset?
Not a subset.
Not a subset. Why do you think so, Tawassul?
Ma'am, because 5 is not in the first one.
The 5 is not an issue. Issue is this 2. Agar ye 2 na ho na, 1, 3 ho, so then it is a subset. But because there is a number which is not in the parent or the bigger set, so then it is not a subset, right? These 2 sets are, there is another word called, आपने 7 में पढ़ा होगा, overlapping sets. These 2 sets are overlapping sets. Overlapping क्या होता है? When there are common elements between the 2 sets. ठीक है? But they are also having their own elements. There are common elements 1 and 3, but this first set is having 2 as its own element, and this second element is having 5 as their own element. अगर आप इसे ड्रॉ करें वेन डायग्राम पे तो ये ओवरलैपिंग सेट है ना, ये आपने 7th क्लास में ये फॉर्मेशंस पढ़ी थी. Like if I draw it on a Venn diagram, these two sets, so basically this 1 and 3 will come in the common area, this 2 will come here, and this 5 will come here. This is how we will represent it through Venn diagrams. Can you link this concept? Are you able to draw these two sets on Venn diagram like this? Narmeen, Hashim, Arshiman, Tawassal, can you link this concept? If I draw these two sets on a Venn diagram, so it will be represented like this. Is it making sense to you? Or is it clear?
Yes,
One
ma'am.
and
Clear.
yes, ma'am. 1 and 3 common
1 and 3 will come in the overlapping area, and
because
2 and
these
5 will
common
come on the area which is not common area, like because 2 belongs to only first set and 5 belongs to only second set. Okay, so this is an example of overlapping sets which you have learned in the previous classes. So next is null set, and this is the bigger set. Is it a subset or not?
No, not.
no, ma'am.
Null set, not a subset of this set.
Because, ma'am, this is
Is
not a
is
So just now we have written subsets. So we always started with null set.
set
Null
is
set is a subset of every set. So this is a subset. Why? Because null set or empty set is subset of all sets. ठीक है, ये तो this is the universal truth. Like इसमें तो कुछ सोचने की बात ही नहीं है. If I go back to the previous question, and you see, out of these 4 examples, null set was always there. Can you see? We started with null set. Even when the set itself was empty, null set was still the subset. Are you getting this point? Is it clear, the second part?
ma'am.
Hashim, is it clear, bete? Narmeen,
yes, ma'am.
Fatma. So null set is a first subset of all. ये बिल्कुल वैसी बात है अगर आपको कोई कहे is 1 a factor of 7? So you will say yes, because 1 is a factor of all the numbers in math. So same is the case in set notation. 1 is a subset of all the possible sets in the set notation. Are we clear? All right, moving on to part C. Part C is X such that, I told you the other day during theory, and this is how we need to read this. X such that X is rectangle in a plane. So X kya hai? X is rectangle, right? So now the other set is X such that X is a quadrilateral in planes. So this set contains all the quadrilaterals, and this set contains all the rectangles. Do you think it is a subset or
Subset.
not?
Yes,
It
ma'am.
is
Right.
because
So
rectangle
Ma'am,
is a
because
quadrilateral.
rectangle is
because
also a quadrilateral.
rectangle is always a quadrilateral. So whatever type of rectangle is here, maybe it's a 2 by 3 rectangle or a 4 by 5 rectangle, जो भी rectangle है, that rectangle will always be a quadrilateral, right? So this is a subset. Very good. So now next one. Next question is X is a X such that X is a prime number, and the second set is X such that X is a composite number. So now what? Prime
Ma'am,
number,
it is not a
not a subset. Why
Not
not?
a subset. That is subset.
Not a
because
subset.
They both are
Because a
opposite.
prime,
there is some composite
because a
number.
prime number cannot
Both
be
are
the, both are different, A prime number cannot be a composite number, just like a vowel cannot be a consonant, right? So a prime number cannot be a composite number. Either a number would be a prime number or a composite number. ठीक है, यहाँ पर अगर prime number और यहाँ पर अगर composite की जगह हो जाता ना, let's say odd number, तो फिर क्या होता? A prime number and odd number, फिर क्या होता? Prime numbers and odd
And
numbers.
it will be
Then
a
it will
subset.
be you can think of an example. For example, यहाँ पर अगर हम लिखें 3 and 5, so 3 and 5 are prime numbers and they are odd numbers as well. So फिर हम कह सकते
But
हैं कि
two,
this is a
two,
subset,
two
right?
member
2
again
is,
two,
2 is also there, yes. But we
not
can
not.
think इन दोनों की वजह से इस सेट में कुछ तो सेट्स ऐसे आ सकते हैं ना जो इसके सबसेट बन जाएंगे. ठीक है पॉइंट. ये सेट ये तो नहीं है ना कि सारे प्राइम नंबर्स हैं. जरूरी तो नहीं है ना. x is a prime number, but it's not
हम
written
10
x contain all the prime numbers. कोई भी प्राइम नंबर, हम सिर्फ 7 भी तो लिख सकते हैं. So there are many sets, we can form through this. So this set might be a subset of the other one. But abhi jo formation thi, prime and composite, this can never be a subset, right? All right. So last one, what do you say? One is 5, 10, multiple of 5, and the other is multiple of 10. So do you think it's a subset?
the 20 and
Yes, ma'am.
30.
Is this set subset of this set?
Yes, ma'am.
Is first set a subset of second set?
And first
No,
set
ma'am.
is a super of the
No,
other
ma'am.
set.
Superset, yes. So it's not a subset. बल्कि इसकी correction अगर हम करें तो this will be a superset. This would be a correct way of writing it. That this
And
first
40 is
set is
not
a
there.
second one.
40,
Sorry?
40. 40.
40 is not. तो हम इसी पे restrict रहते हैं. It's not a subset, right? Because subset की definition यही है कि all the elements of that set must be there in the superset,
Other set.
in the other set. So moving on to question number 4. Question number 4 is, given the sets A and B. So now A is 1, 2, 3, B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Determine whether A is subset of B. Explain if B is superset of A. G. So is A subset of B? Explain. So how do we
Yes,
explain? पहले तो ये
because
बताएं, is A subset of B?
yes, because
Yes. Is
all the
subset of B
elements
because
are present in B.
very good. Yes. And we will write down because all elements of A are यही एक, we have only one condition of subsets. All elements of A are in B. ये बस we are only having one the condition. So now they're saying explain if B is superset of A.
Yes, it is.
It is, but they're not asking if it is. They're saying explain if B is. So how we will explain it?
Because B is having all the elements of A.
B and C are coming in both.
B is having all the elements of set A, or you can say because B is having all the elements of set A and there are some extra elements in B. So that is why B is superset of A, right? So in the next one, there is this C is ABC, D is BCDE. We need to identify which of the following is true. C is ABC, D is BCDE. So is C a subset of D?
No, false.
False. Is D a subset of C? Is D a subset of C?
No,
So why A is not true? How you will explain it? Why C is not a subset of D?
Because A is not present.
Because this element A is not there. So not all elements of set C, not all elements of set C are present in D, right? This is how you will
Set
write
B.
down. That's right. So because A is not, so why D is not subset of C? So why D
Because
is
all
not a
elements
subset?
of B are not present in C.
That's right, because D is a bigger set. You can just write down like this also. There are 4 elements in
Because
set D and 3 elements. ये तो possibility ही नहीं है ना. Sorry for that. ये तो possibility ही नहीं है, because D is a bigger set, C is a smaller set. How can that be a subset of a smaller set, you know? So then what is the answer? Answer is neither of them. And we have already explained the reasoning, right? So moving on to question number 6. Question number 6 is, consider sets E 5, 6, 7 and F 5, 6, 7, 8. Is E a proper subset of F? Justify your answer. So is E a proper subset of F?
Yes, it is, because it has less elements than F.
That's right. Yes, it is, because इसकी प्रॉपर सबसेट की जो रीजनिंग थी, 2 कंडीशंस होती हैं प्रॉपर सबसेट की. फर्स्ट कंडीशन इज दैट ऑल द एलिमेंट्स ऑफ ई शुड बी इन एफ. ठीक है, वो तो सबसेट की कंडीशन भी है. प्रॉपर सबसेट क्या होता है? ई शुड नॉट बी इक्वल टू एफ. ठीक है, so because E set is not equal to F, so this is a proper subset. Got it? So there were 2 conditions for a set to be a proper subset. First condition was all the elements of, let's say, E are part of F. Second condition is E should not be equal to F. If E is equal to F, then it will be improper subset, right? So now this one, if G is
C
XYZ, H is XYZ, is G a proper or improper subset of H?
Improper, because both are same.
Improper subsets, right? So this is improper subset. Why? Because G is equal to H. The 2 sets are equal, so then they are called improper subset. So this explanation is more than enough to justify your answer, right? So any confusion till this point? जी बेटे, anything you cannot
Ma'am,
understand?
I can't see your screen.
You cannot see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, what about the rest of you? Beta, can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So,
Yes.
all right. So any confusion in this? So now let's solve, or let's open. I will share the screen again. Tawassal, you might see the screen then. Just let me do that. So now, because we have done with the first topic, so when the school will open inshallah on Monday, so then we will do this topic again. But to avoid repetition, we will solve the questions from book instead of the worksheet. Worksheet ke questions are a bit easier, so I will try to take more questions where this topic is basically, it looks like this topic is easier, but students make a lot of mistake in this, because there are many constraints in this topic. जैसे आपके पास concepts हैं बहुत सारे. You might have seen concepts of prime numbers, composite numbers, ठीक है, even numbers, natural numbers. So they can integrate many logics inside this. Secondly, the notations become problem for students. Like sets can be given. Agar sets are given in the element form, so that is an easy question. But if the sets are given in the form of a statement, or especially in the form of set notation, so then the students get stuck. So they do not write the elements correctly, and then the whole question go wrong, because the elements are wrong, so the operations are also wrong. Okay, so you need to be very good at the concepts related to maths, or maybe the general knowledge also. Do usually math concepts are there. So now let's discuss the second objective of this topic, and that is the operations on sets. You have not done this earlier. So operations on sets. So just like in numbers, there are 4 operations on sets, right? So the first operation is called union, denoted by U, right? So can you guess what is union, or do you know what is union? Like for example, if set A is 1, 2, 3, set B is 3, 4, 5. What would be A union B?
3.
3.
Not 3. Union are basically all the elements. All elements in both sets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
In both sets. So now what would be A union B? So A union
1,
B
2,
be
3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3,
3,
4, 5.
3, 4, 5. Is it correct answer?
No,
Why
we
not?
should.
No, ma'am,
We
because
should.
there you put 2 3s.
We should not write. Why? How do we know? Okay, we should not write 3 twice.
Ma'am, because it is in both sets.
Why
Because
should we
it's
not write 3 twice?
because
Ma'am,
it's
Because
because
it
sets.
is violating the definition of set. If we will write 3 twice, तो जो हमने शुरू में कहा था कि set is having distinct elements. Distinct elements होने चाहिए ना set में. There should not be any repetition. So then that is against the definition of that, which like the definition of set. So we cannot write any element twice. आपने याद रखना, this is wrong, totally wrong. अगर आप ये गलती करते हैं, especially in a board exam, so you know your marks will be deducted because the concept is wrong, right? So now the second operation is intersection. Intersection. Intersection is denoted by this symbol.
opposite.
Intersection is basically common elements. So now what is A intersection?
What is the symbol of intersection?
This can you see on your screen, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is the symbol. Okay. So what is A intersection B in
3.
this particular exam? 3. So only 3 is a common. Okay. 3 is
We
the
have done these in the previous class.
sorry.
We have done this in the previous class.
That's great. So then the third operation is, it's called difference. Difference between the two sets. So like for example, if we write down like this, for example, A minus B. So before writing the answer, can anyone tell me what is A minus B? Answer में क्या आना चाहिए? Like, what is A minus B? किस set के elements आने चाहिए?
1, 2, 4, 5.
2, 4, and 5.
No. I am giving
Ma'am,
you a hint. A
set
minus B is not same as B minus A. A minus B.
set A का आना चाहिए.
1,
Set
2.
A elements होने चाहिए. B तो minus कर रहा है सिर्फ उसको. So क्या elements answer आएंगे? If
Ma'am,
set
one
A 1,
and
2, 3. So 8th class में I recommend you to write it like this: 1, 2, 3 minus 3, 4, 5. देखें 3, 4, 5 is just acting as a filter. आपने साइंस में फिल्ट्रेशन पढ़ी है ना. So assume this B is a filter. B के एलिमेंट्स नीचे नहीं आएंगे. ठीक है. B के एलिमेंट्स सिर्फ A के एलिमेंट्स को फिल्टर कर रहे हैं. So इस फिल्टर में 3 यहाँ पर ही रुक जाएगा. A का 3. So what will be left over elements in A?
1, 2.
1 and 2.
3.
ठीक है. तो डिफरेंस ऑफ टू सेट्स, डिफरेंस हमेशा सेट्स का होता है. डिफरेंस में हमेशा द एलिमेंट्स ऑफ फर्स्ट सेट कम्स. ठीक है. एलिमेंट ऑफ सेकंड सेट एक्ट एज अ फिल्टर, राइट. सो फिल्टर के एलिमेंट्स जो हैं वो वापस नहीं आते. ठीक है बेटे. तो व्हाट अबाउट बी
Symbol.
माइनस ए देन?
Symbol.
Sorry, symbol. There are two symbols. One is this minus sign we use, or there is a slash can also come sometimes, you know. A minus b लिखा हो सकता है या फिर a slash b लिखा हो सकता है difference के लिए. ठीक है. So what is b minus a? Let's say 3 4 5 minus 1 2 3. So now what will come? Elements of b which are not in a.
4 5.
4 5 4 and 5. और इसके लिए आपने ये याद रखना है. वैसे भी आपको पता है डिफरेंस नॉर्मल मैथ्स में डिफरेंस में ऑर्डर मैटर करता है ना. if you are subtracting 3 if you are doing 3 minus 4, so that is not equal to minus 3. We always say that in difference order matter. ऐसे ही है ना. So in set notation also in difference the order matters. A minus b is not same as b minus b. अगर आपने ये बात याद रख ली तो then you will remember that you need to see what is left in the first. Anything you cannot understand up till this point?
No.
Is it clear?
Ma'am.
All right.
But the is